Good evening. I'd like to welcome everyone to the Town of Lexington Council meeting. This meeting is being held at Town Hall Monday evening, October 5th, 2020. This meeting is being broadcast live and will be replayed several times over the next week on the town's cable information channel 1301 and will also be available for viewing on the town's website. I'm Steve McDougall, the mayor of Lexington. This time I'd like to introduce my fellow council members. To my left is Mayor Pro Tem Hazel Livingston.
Good evening.
To her left is Council Member Todd Carnes.
Good evening.
To my right is Council Member Kathy Manis.
Good evening.
To her right is Council Member Ron Williams.
Good evening.
To his right is Council Member Todd Lyle.
Good evening.
At this time, I would like to ask Council Member Kathy Manis to give tonight's opening invocation.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Let us pray. Dear Lord, thank you for this beautiful day and for the change of seasons. Be with our president, his family, and staff, and everyone who is suffering from COVID-19. Be with the nurses and the doctors who are caring for each of them. Be with our country, Lord, and be with this council as we make important decisions for the betterment of the town of Lexington. Be with our businesses as they begin to rebuild. Be with our students, teachers, and school district administrators as decisions are being made for the education of our children. Wrap your loving arms around our country and give us peace. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Kathy. This time, will everyone please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Yeah, it does look good. Thank you. At this time, I will call the meeting to order. And I'd like to report on our executive session for this evening. This evening's executive session, we had two legal issues, one issue regarding pending litigation, and one issue was advice regarding agenda items. We had two contractual issues. One was an issue regarding downtown development, and the other was an issue regarding a sewer contract. We had one personnel item. It was a routine personnel matter. No vote was taken in tonight's executive session, only to vote to adjourn executive session. Do I have a motion to ratify the mayor's executive session report?
So moved.
Mr. Lyle makes a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Ms. Manis seconds the motion. All those in favor, please raise your right hand. That is unanimous. Deletions on the agenda. Are there any deletions on the agenda? I know that item business number 4 has been withdrawn. That will come back to our November 2nd meeting, but that item has been withdrawn for tonight's meeting. Any other items on the agenda that need to be deleted? Hearing none, very good. Next item is approval of minutes. Copies of the minutes from the council meeting on September 8th, 2020 were provided in your packets. Are there any omissions, additions, or corrections to regular council meeting September 8, 2020? Hearing none, is there a motion to approve those minutes?
So moved.
Ms. Manis makes a motion. Mr. Williams seconds the motion. Any further discussion?
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
I would just like to thank Becky, our clerk, because these were some excellent minutes. We had a lot going on at that last meeting, and she really did a great job putting everything down to paper so that if anything were to come back, we'd have it right there. So thank you, Becky. You did an excellent job.
Very good. Anyone else? Ms. Manis makes a motion. Mr. Williams seconds. All those in favor, please raise your right hand. That is unanimous. At this time, we'll move right into presentations. Our first presentation this evening is from Assistant Chief Matt Davis. Please come forward. Welcome, Mr. Davis. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor and Council. On behalf of Chief Green, I would like to recognize 3 individuals tonight. Ms. Tricia Plunkett, Miss Margaret Claypool, and Miss Joy Gray. And Miss Joy couldn't be here, Miss Gray couldn't be here with us tonight, for a generous donation they made to the Lexington Police Department. This all began when Officer Kerwin here and Miss Plunkett were having a friendly conversation about Trey's dog, Nufo. Miss Plunkett asked if Nufo had a bulletproof vest, and Trey stated that he did not. Miss Plunkett inquired about the reasons why and didn't like the reasons why. So she says, we will have to change that. And by goodness, Miss Plunkett, being true to her word, recruited 2 friends to help her in her endeavor to see that canine vest was purchased for Nufo. These ladies here tonight donated significant amount of money to help purchase that vest for Nufo. He's wearing the vest tonight, actually. The vest is designed to protect against bullet and stab wounds and is custom fit for our dog Nufo. Mayor and council, thanks to their generosity, Canine Nufo will go into the field protected just like his human counterparts. Tonight I would like to present Miss Plunkett and Miss Claypool and Miss Gray, they're going to take the Miss Grays with the Lexington Police Department Challenge Coin for their gracious donation to the department.
Thank you very much.
Take a quick look, Mr. Mayor.
All 3 of us are massive animal lovers and especially dog lovers. And when we heard that sweet boy, that big bad boy, had no protection, she lives near McIntyre. I live in West Columbia, and Joy lives in Irmo. So all of that money that we gave y'all to Lexington, to the city of Lexington, was for this sweet boy right here.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Usually a lot more drugs around when he gets his sister taken.
Thank you all very much. Thank you so much.
The things that animals do on our behalf, starting with
The smell on the podium for some reason. You don't like the smell on the podium.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, you got some energy.
Thank you, ladies.
That was very nice. Thank you. Again, Ms. Plunkett, Ms. Claypool, and Ms. Gray, thank you so much. At this time, I'll have a vision plan meeting for October 2020. The Ice House Amphitheater Pavilion is starting to come to life. I don't know if you've been by it, but a lot of activity going on there. Over the next couple of weeks, you will see the brick and stone facade put on the exterior columns and arches. Once that is complete, work will start on the roof section. The pavilion will be a brick open-air building with overhead fans and outdoor heaters. It will be home to the market at the Ice House and where vendors will set up during the events at the Ice House. The rebuilding of the Gibson Pond Dam also continues. Within the next few days, concrete work will begin on constructing the dam itself. It is expected to take about 10 to 12 weeks to complete that portion of the project. The new dam will feature 2 docks and a walking pier. The park will remain closed duration of time of construction. These projects and more are a result of the town's vision plan, which was reviewed and updated last summer. You can read the entire vision plan on the town's webpage at lexsc.com. At this time, we will hear a traffic update from Mayor Pro Tem Livingston.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. There will be a single lane closure on West Main Street, 378 westbound, near Ellis Avenue tomorrow morning. Work will be completed by 11 a.m. The North Lake widening project near Azalea Drive has begun. Utility relocation work is in progress and will continue for the coming weeks. Construction activity will be ongoing, so please use extra caution in this area. Construction activity continues at the new median on Columbia Avenue near Reed Avenue and Old Chapin Road. The new Murphy's gas station located at 500 West Main Street will be performing roadway and driveway improvements over the coming weeks. There will be intermittent lane shifts to complete this work. New road improvements are expected to begin soon at the Sunset Boulevard and Mineral Springs Road intersection as part of the new development. The next Traffic Committee meeting will be held on Wednesday, October the 28th at 8 a.m. in the main conference room of Town Hall. If you're aware of any traffic signal issues, unsafe roadway situations, or a pothole that needs repair, please call 358-7273 and let us know.
Thank you very much, Mayor Pro Tem. At this time, we will open up to public hearings. Our first public hearing this evening is final reading of an ordinance to sell right-of-way property for the Crossroads Improvement Project. Anyone here wish to speak to that? Very good. Item number 2, final reading of an ordinance annexing Lexington County Tax Map number 4332-02-002 located at 504 Northwood Road. Anyone here wish to speak to that? Hearing none, very good. Item number 3, final reading of a supplemental ordinance to issue combined water and sewer system refunding and capital improvement bonds of 2020. Anyone here wish to speak to that? Hearing none, that concludes our public hearings for this evening. We will move right into old business. Our first item of old business is from Councilmember Kathy Manis. Final reading of an ordinance to sell right-of-way property for the Crossroads Improvement Project. Councilmember Manis.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. A sale of town property is necessary to support a right-of-way for Dominion Energy to relocate power lines in support of the Dreer Street Road project. A plot and appraisal are attached. The appraisal amount for the property is $15,500. I make a motion for final reading approval of an ordinance to sell right-of-way property for the Dreer Street Crossroads Improvement Project.
Ms. Manis makes a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Williams seconds that motion. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please raise your right hand. That is unanimous. Sorry, I'm getting back there. Very good, thank you. Our next item of old business is from Councilmember Todd Carnes, final reading of an ordinance annexing Lexington County Tax Map number 4332-02-002 located at 504 Northwood Road. Councilmember Carnes.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Derek and Emily Berry own a parcel located at 504 Northwood Road and have petitioned to annex the property. A single-family home is located on the site. Properties in town near this one are zoned protected residential, and this portion of Northwood Road is classified as an RL4 road. Planning Commission reviewed this annexation during their September meeting and recommended the same zoning and road classification for this parcel. I'll make a motion for final reading approval.
Councilmember Carnes makes a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Councilmember Lyle seconds that motion. Any further discussion? Oh, Ron Williams, I'm sorry. Councilmember Williams seconds that motion. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please raise your right hand. That is unanimous. Our next item of old business is from Councilmember Ron Williams. Final reading of a supplemental ordinance to issue combined water and sewer system refunding and capital improvement bonds of 2020. Councilmember Williams.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The current spread between the tax exempt and taxable bond rates is in a range that makes use of taxable bonds potentially feasible for advance refunding of our Series 2011 and Series 2012 water and sewer bonds. Additionally, the town's Series 2011 bonds will become eligible for current refunding in January 2021. Although the bond market has been quite volatile during the 2020 and market conditions could easily change in the coming weeks, current rates are unfavorable and potentially make possible refunding for significant present value savings. Given the uncertainty caused by the ongoing pandemic and the potential for further market volatility surrounding the upcoming national election, the town's financing team advises refunding the issues in October 2020, to the extent feasible to capitalize on the current lower rates should the favorable rates hold. The ordinance allows for maximum flexibility to respond to market conditions at the time of pricing in mid-October, including issuing capital improvement bonds, which would be used to refund a portion of the currently outstanding Series 2019 bonds. I'll make a motion for final reading of a supplemental ordinance to issue combined water and sewer system revenue refunding and capital improvement bonds of 2020.
Very good. Mr. Williams makes a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Councilmember Lyle seconds that motion. Any further discussion?
Mr. Mayor, I would like
Yes,
to.
sir. Mr. Williams.
I would like to thank staff because from the estimates that we have, the town's going to save hopefully in excess of $500,000 by doing this.
Very good. Anyone else?
Mr. Mayor?
Yes, sir. Mr. Lyle.
Yeah, I'd just like to join Councilmember Williams in thanking the staff for that hard work and saving a lot of good taxpayer money. So thank you.
Very good. Taking advantage of an opportunity, I believe. Isn't that right? What you told me, Stuart?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Anyone else? Mr. Williams makes a motion. Mr. Lyle seconds it. All those in favor, please raise your right hand. That is unanimous. Our next item of old business is from Councilmember Todd Lyle. Impact fee appeal consideration for Carolina Career. Councilmember Todd Lyle.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Carolina Career School has appealed the town staff's impact fee assessment. The appeal was heard at the September Town Council meeting. Town Council is now asked to render a decision. Mr. Mayor, I would make a motion that we grant the impact fee in this case based on the following grounds. The owner of the business applied for and received water service prior to the effective date of the impact fee ordinance. The business license was granted a very brief time after the effective date of the ordinance, likely due to some ministerial error. We believe that the granting the utility account for this business was enough action to qualify the business as being established prior to the effective date of the impact fee, and that equity ultimately dictates that they are entitled to the granting of the appeal since the utility service was timely established and the business application was filed shortly thereafter. I would also like to call attention to the fact that there are unique circumstances in this appeal, and add that this is not to be considered a precedent-setting ruling because impact fees assessed to each property are unique to the subject property and will differ based upon the unique circumstances contained in each case such as this.
Very good. Mr. Lyle makes a motion. Let me just be clear that you're asking that we waive the fee. Is that correct, Mr. Lyle?
That's correct. I apologize if I didn't clarify that. My motion is that we grant the impact fee appeal in this case based upon those grounds that I just previously mentioned.
Very good. Mr. Lyle makes a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Corn seconds that motion. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please raise your right hand. That is unanimous. Our next item of old business is from Mayor Pro Tem Hazel Livingston. Impact fee appeal consideration for the Sonic. Mayor Pro Tem.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Mayor, I would like to make a motion that we approve a reduction in the impact fee assessment based upon the following grounds. This is an appeal for a business currently located within the town of Lexington. There are unusual circumstances in this case in that the subject business is not a new business, but an existing business seeking to locate at a new location which is currently vacant. The new location is very close proximity to the old location. There is economic development value to the town of Lexington for encouraging the occupancy of vacant buildings. The fact that this is an existing business seeking to relocate in close proximity causes less of an impact than a new business coming to town in a new location. I suggest the impact fee impact fee be reduced by the amount currently allocated to the existing Sonic location due to the unique circumstances contained in this appeal. I would also like to call direct attention to the unique circumstances in this appeal and add that this is not to be considered a precedent-setting ruling because impact fees assessed to each property are unique to the subject property and will differ based upon the unique circumstances contained in each case.
Very good. Mayor Pro Tem makes a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Williams seconds the motion. Any further discussion?
Mr. Mayor?
Yes, sir. Mr. Lyle?
Yeah, I would just like to clarify and make sure that what we're saying is that the impact fee will be credited the amount as calculated based on this existing location, and it not be equal to the same as the existing location, but it gets credit for that.
That is correct.
Okay, I just wanted to clarify that. And then also, I'd like to just point out that I'm in favor of this, in particular as well, that this was a location that was not vacant for very long. It's been in business for a long time and it's impacted. I think this is a very equitable way to adjust this.
Very good. Thank you, Mr. Lyle. Anyone else? Very good. We have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please raise your right hand. That is unanimous. At this time, we will move into new business. Our first item of new business is from Councilmember Kathy Manis. Resolution to authorize water and sewer revenue bond anticipation notes. Councilmember Manis.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor and Council. The town's water and sewer system capital improvement plan for fiscal year 2021 totals approximately $7.4 million, with a 5-year total of approximately $35.7 million. Currently, the Town Series 2019 $15.68 million water and sewer revenue bond anticipation notes, bands, are outstanding and are due on October 27, 2020. Accordingly, the financing plan requires a resolution to authorize the issuance of water and sewer revenue bands, which in total will not exceed $19.5 million. The bands provide an interim financing for the Cromer Road Pump Station and the resolution of the I-20 system acquisition. The rollover of the bands allows for possible funding for acquisition of sewer facilities. The resolution allows for maximum flexibility to respond to market conditions at the time of pricing in mid-October. Additionally, the planned water and sewer revenue refunding and capital improvement bonds of 2020 will allow for the possible long-term financing of a portion of the outstanding bands while maintaining the current not to exceed authorization of $19.5 million. The balance of the outstanding bands would be refunded by permanent long-term bond financing, likely in the fiscal year 2022. I make a motion for approval of a resolution to authorize water and sewer revenue bond anticipation notes.
Councilmember Manis makes a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Councilmember Lyle seconds the motion. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please raise your right hand. That is unanimous. Our next item of new business is from Councilmember Todd Carnes. First reading of an ordinance annexing Lexington County Tax Map number 3300-04-015, located in the 1100 block of Old Cherokee Road. Councilmember Carnes.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Mungo Homes owns 25.4 acres located in the 1100 block of Old Cherokee Road and has petitioned to annex the property. Phase 10 of the Sterling Bridge subdivision is being planned on the site. Properties in this town near this one are zoned Protected Residential 2 and Limited Commercial. Old Cherokee Road is classified as a collector road. The Planning Commission reviewed this annexation during their September meeting and recommended Protected Residential 2 zoning for the property and collector road classification for Old Cherokee Road. Mr. Mayor, I make a motion for first reading approval.
Mr. Carnes makes a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Williams seconds the motion. Before we go any further, I will recuse myself from this vote. Are there any comments
Yes, sir, Mr. Mayor.
Yes, sir, Mr. Carnes.
Mr. Hanson, could you delineate for us? I know we had a conversation about how Planning Commission handled this, and could you delineate for us the concession's not the right word, but the modifications that were made from minimal PR2 standards for site plan that was provided for this annexation?
Randy might be able to answer that question a little better than can, because he was at the planning commission meeting, but my understanding is the planning commission required an additional 5 feet of asphalt for the road going into the subdivision,
Okay,
to accommodate the extra cars
right.
on-street parking, so.
Perfect. And I didn't know the exact number, but I
As
knew.
well as whatever requirements that DOT requires intersection improvement-wise on Old Cherokee and, what's the name of that road? Fox Glen.
Yeah, I was just curious if, in addition to that, which that's very important to get a wider roadway than what the minimal standards of PR2 allow, did the Planning Commission ask for anything further beyond that, or just that single modification?
I believe they're already exceeding the front yard setback requirement, the minimal front yard setback requirement.
Okay, and they drew that up, that wasn't something we
Yeah, that's
asked
the way
for?
they normally do it. The minimum for PR2 is 10 feet, which nobody does. 'Cause
Right.
You can't get a driveway in that can hold a car without hanging over the sidewalk with 10 feet.
Okay. And just, do they have sidewalks in this subdivision?
Yes.
Thank you.
Is there any other questions? Okay, Todd Carnes made the motion, Ron Williams seconded it. All those in favor, raise your right hand. It's unanimous with the mayor recusing himself.
Thank you very much, Mayor Pro Tem. Our next item of new business is first reading of an ordinance amending the food truck ordinance. Councilmember Ron Williams.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Several neighborhoods have asked to have food trucks in their neighborhood, and staff has looked at this ordinance for us, and they have made some suggestive revisions. The ordinance has a section titled Mobile Food Vendors on Private Property. That title should be changed to Mobile Food Vendors Permanently Located with an Annual Permit, so that it is clear that the requirements in this section apply to permanent, semi-permanent placement of a truck in a commercial area. Provisions such as permitted operating times are different in this application as compared to what may be allowed in a neighborhood. A new section should be created titled Internment Operations in an Authorized Residential Area. This section would list the requirements for food trucks to operate in a neighborhood. It would be defined as an area where the town has received a form request from the subdivision requesting food trucks to be allowed to operate. Desired hours of operation would need to be indicated, similar to those hours or requests that are made for ice cream trucks. Other requirements may be a decal and business license are required. All South Carolina DHEC licensing requirements must be met. The operator must submit a quarterly report on hospitality tax collections. Failure to comply with this requirement would be subject to vendors' revocation of their decal and a citation under the general enforcement clause of this ordinance with a penalty up to $500. Permits would be allowed for no more than 4 hours at a time. Make a motion for first reading approval with the stipulations that are above.
Mr. Williams makes a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Councilmember Carnes seconds that motion. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please raise your right hand. That is unanimous. At this time, we will hear announcements from Councilmember Todd Lyle.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. We hope everyone enjoyed the last market at the Ice House this past Saturday. It will be back next year, and we hope without social distancing. We'd like to thank Walker Brewer, the park staff, and the many vendors for making this year's market one of the best. It'll also be pretty exciting to have the new pavilion open for next year. Don't forget our last movie series at the River Bluff High School will be this Saturday featuring the Goonies. Gates open at 7:30 p.m. The movie starts at 8:30. Town Council will meet again on October the 19th at 6:30 for a work session in the Eli Mack Room. Several of the town's boards and commissions will also meet this month. This Thursday, October the 8th, Board of Architectural Review will meet at 9 o'clock in the morning here in council chambers. Planning Commission meets on October 21st at 8 a.m. here in the council chambers. Traffic Committee will meet on October 28th at 8 a.m. This time they will meet in the big conference room on the first floor in order to provide more space for social distancing. So again, they're going to meet in a different spot than normal. In-person absentee voting started today at the Lexington County Voter Registration Office. That's at 605 West Main Street, Suite C. Runs through November 2nd at 5 p.m. For those of you that remember, that is the old Kroger from back in the day. If you have any questions about how to vote in the upcoming election, please contact the Lexington County Voters Registration Office at 803-785-8361. Thank you again for watching Town Council in Action tonight.
Thank you, Mr. Lyle. Anyone else have anything they'd like to add? Yes, sir. Mr. Williams.
I'd like to congratulate and recognize the Lexington District 1 students who the District 1 recognized today as the 14th Annual World of Bullying Prevention. The Lexington Elementary School, along with other schools in the community, were asked to wear blue to join in solidarity to stop the bullying and the cyberbullying. They also recognize every October as National Bullying Prevention Awareness Month. I think it's a great thing that the kids chose to participate.
Very good. Thank you, Mr. Williams. Ms. Manus.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Today is National Teacher Day, so I want everyone watching to go email a teacher. If you got one in your house, go hug a teacher. Thank them for what they're doing. This year's very difficult on teachers all over South Carolina and around the nation, so please thank a teacher today. Also, on October 13th and October 19th, the River Bluff High School Law Center students will have a debate, more like a town hall, for the candidates for Lexington School District 1 Board. So I hope that you'll be able to go to that or watch it being live streamed. I'm going to be the moderator on October 13th, so I'm looking forward to that. Then on October the 20th, there will be a debate between Congressman Wilson and Adair Burrows. That's being sponsored by the River Bluff Law Center along with WIS-TV. So I hope that you will be able to take a look at that. It will be held at River Bluff. Social distancing and masks will be worn. Also, the Lexington School District 1 Board of Trustees Chairman Cindy Smith has decided not to seek re-election. Her last meeting will be in November, actually in October. She served on the board for 20 years, the longest serving trustee for Lexington School District 1 Board of Trustees. So if y'all see Cindy, thank her for her service. She's worked very hard there. And I think that's all I have, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you very much, Ms. Manus. Anyone else? Anything they'd like to add? Very good. I'd just like to add the rebate program that we came up with and instituted at the beginning of all this mess is now ended. And I would just like to thank Kathy and her staff. I know that was not an easy task to be handed to you one Monday morning, but thank you very much for what y'all have done. That was a great program for our citizens to take part in and our businesses in town. And again, thank you. I know that was difficult at times, but we appreciate everything y'all did. Anyone else? Is there any questions from the news media this evening? Any public comments? I think our two public persons have gone. That concludes our business for this evening. Thank you for watching the Town Council meeting for the town of Lexington. This meeting was held at Town Hall on Monday evening, October 5th, 2020. A recording of this meeting will be aired on the town's cable information channel 1301, and a video will be available on the town's website at lexsc.com. Without objection, we are adjourned.